Hi, I'm Steph. I'm 29 years old and I've lived in Toronto for the last 10 years, and I'm a dancer, choreographer, company owner. Yeah. We had a very fun weekend. It was Pride, so we went hard. It was the first Pride out of the house, so we were living our lives. But yeah, it was good. When I was younger, I was really shy. Which is the complete opposite of who I am right now. I feel like I'm very out there. I like to speak my mind a lot, but when I was younger, it definitely wasn't like that. Didn't really have a lot of close friends growing up because I was a dancer. I did the whole dance thing. So I was in the studio all the time, 5 to 8 hours a day, 5 to 6 times a week. So my dance friends were my only friends, really. Everybody else was I was kind of a loner a little bit. So going through high school was really hard. College was a little better because I could kind of grow into myself, but I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard in high school to be around people that didn't really understand that dance takes up a lot of my time. And people weren't the nicest, especially girls, young teenagers. So I went through a little bit of a depression period when I was younger, which was not fun, obviously, but I believe now that everything happens for a reason, and I know that I went through that so that I could teach other women to be confident or to pull that out of themselves when they feel like they can't. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I'm super open about it. A lot of it happened when I was around grade 9, grade 10, so 15, 16. Yeah, just going to school and not really knowing who I was going to talk to, who I was going to have lunch with. All of that was just very anxiety driven, which took a lot of energy out of me. So by the time I had the energy to do anything, to even reach out to somebody, I just felt like that was a whole lot of stuff I didn't want to do. I didn't want to get rejected, so I would just kind of hermit and almost kind of enable people to treat me badly because I was I just need friends. But it was really hard. I went through a point in my life when I was 16 where I almost didn't even want to be here anymore, but luckily I had my mom and my dad who got me through that period of time. We were in the hospital for a little bit, so that was a big learning experience, but then I was able to kind of see my first therapist, and she was amazing. And then throughout then, we've just been kind of working on our mental health ever since, but it's been a journey, that's for sure. Life today is probably the best it's ever been. It's the dream life that I've dreamed about since I was a little girl, but it didn't take 2 seconds to get there. It took a really long time. Yeah, I own my own dance company. I teach dance classes. I mentor women that want to get better at their dance style and just be better humans in the process at the same time. I have an amazing therapist. She is queer as well as me. I identify as a lesbian, so to have somebody else that understands me that also is helping me to work on my mental health really helps as well. And yeah, I just like to surround myself with people that are also like me, that dance, that are also queer. Yeah, I think I have the best life ever. Yeah. Well, I always say I have 2 best friends. One of them lives with me. Her name's Sierra. She's amazing. We've been best friends for 8, 9 years, and we live together. We're roommates. So most of the time, it's her because she's right there. And then I have my other best friend, Chris, who lives in Vegas, but he would be my first call, that's for sure. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. There's a time difference, but even so, he will always answer my call. Even if he's dancing or doing something, he's always hey, I can only talk for 5 minutes, but either of those two. And if those two aren't available, I have a kitty cat at home that I just tell all my thoughts to, and she listens and stares at me. So yeah, why them? That's a loaded question, because I just think that they're the best humans ever. It's hard for me to find people I connect with because my community is so small, the dance community and the queer community at the same time. But Sierra is such a loving, warm energy. She understands everything from every side. Even if I'm wrong, or even if I'm maybe not in the best mental state, she can always hold space for me. And then Chris is always that person that shows me who I am all the time. If I'm going through it, he's like, I'm not really sure why you are questioning your worth, because look at what you're doing. He will always remind me that I am a good person, and I'm that person for them as well. So yeah.